Okay, I'm going to begin and everybody can hear me. I assume I'm going to begin, then I'm going to collapse my slides and deal with whatever's in the chat because I can't do both at the same time for whatever reason. I'm challenged. Okay, folks? Okay. So, welcome. I'm really hoping you can hear me. I'm really hoping you can see this. And I'm just going to act as if that's the case. And I'm going to know that Annabelle is going to call me if there is a problem or text me. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to Tricks of the Trade, what to know when picking an allergen-safe college or university or private K through 12 establishment. So I'm really, really excited to be here. My name's Betsy Craig. I am the co-founder of Menu Trimfo. So Menu Trimfo exists to inform people what is in their food so they can eat with confidence. We began, I'm going to make this really quick because I need to make up 16 minutes. We began in 2010 as a nutrition company, flipped to make training in 2011. We developed AllerTrain, started teaching restaurants how to serve people with special dietary needs. By 2013, we were doing AllerTrain U on college campuses across the country. Today, we are on over 1,000 college campuses with training. We then went and started doing kitchen audits in 2014 through 16 with the nonprofit group FAIR. 2017, we parted from FAIR and started doing audits in kitchens on our own. And then January 1st, 2017, we launched our first certified free from facility on a college campus. And today we're doing college campuses as well as products. So we've got a dozen products in our wheelhouse. We've got a couple dozen colleges, and that part of our world is just blooming and going through the roof, as I'm sure you can imagine. This gives you an idea of just a few of our brands, and I am probably overly transparent, so I don't want to make it sound like we have hundreds of brands. I will tell you, certifying brands has been newer for us, and we are going through standards to make our standards for what a certification means, not just industry standard, but internationally accepted. So we're going through some pretty rigorous stuff when it comes to what our standards are. I'm going to take half a second and say, if that interests you as a food allergy parent, as a manufacturer, as a consumer, jump on kitchenswithconfidence.com and you can see there's a link. It's called CFF Scheme, and we are looking for comments and opinions. So please jump in there and do it as we're developing this program internationally now. We started in 2017. Our first place was Cornell Dining, and then here you can see some of the colleges and universities that we've been lucky enough to be a part of certifying as free from, either an area or the whole dining room. All of this is to prove to you guys and gals that I haven't slept in 9.5 years, because this is what I've been committed to. Your people, your family, this is what has been in my heart and driven me of a passion I never even knew I could have to make it safe for people to eat. So I have a couple of things I told you I would present in this session. One is the 7 tools to pick the right schools for your kiddos, or have them pick them for themselves, or have you pick it for you. And so number 1, we always encourage folks to pick 8 schools, at least 8 schools for the major you want to go to school for. And the second idea is then pick the schools, up to 8 schools, for your allergen or dietary preference. And I'm on the Facebook groups with you. So I'm seeing what people are saying. I'm seeing what people are suggesting. We know where some of the better schools are for food allergens. So using social media, using those platforms to get other people's opinions is a fabulous, fabulous idea. And it's one of the ways to do it, especially because in this day and age, you can find out who's having success and who isn't based on who's in those schools. Number 3, food service deal breakers. So to me, one of the top tools is to pay attention and know what food service companies or food service entities can handle food allergies and gluten-free like Rockstars, and which ones have not been able to step up and do hospitality the way you need it. I'm not going to trash any particular brand of food service management or independent school. That's not what I'm here for. What I will tell you is that there are definitely contractual services that do it really well, and there are contractual services that are still playing catch up. There are independent school food service groups that do it well and independent school food service groups that are playing catch up. So it really matters based on how much effort and energy they're putting into their food service for you to know who to lean on. Number 4, when you reach out to disability services, what kind of response do you get? Because disability services needs to be involved. So if you pick 8 majors and 8 allergens, you've got 16 schools. Hopefully some will cross over. If they can, pick your top 10 and then reach out to disability services, or at least start with online and see if the words food allergy appear anywhere in disability services. If you can't find food allergies on the public facing website, now you get to make a choice. Are you going to continue down the path of going after that school because it's your major or something that the person really wants, or are you going to pay attention to the fact that they don't even list it on their website? I think you can tell how I feel about that. Number 5, support options on campus. So once you start kicking around, are they offering options for incoming freshmen to handle food allergies? Are they making accommodations, living accommodations, accommodations for, and this is before COVID and after COVID's over. Right now, everything's all kind of crazy. However, I have seen colleges that their RAs, their resident advisors, understand that they can't have a pizza party without including an option for some of their students that can't eat pizza or can only eat certain types of pizza. So there's ways that places that are going to ask you for 5 digits worth of money a year can accommodate your young adults in such a positive way. And really, what tells you you're on the right path with the school, just asking what accommodations are and watching the reaction is a super big indicator. And number 7, what kind of support is there off campus? So if they're in an area where, as students, they traditionally, so we're based, Menu Trinfo, the core company that my husband and I started in 2010, is based in Fort Collins, Colorado. So if it's a Colorado college and we're close to a ski area, do we know if the local ski areas have support to also make it so your student can then be part of everybody, can go off and have the full college experience, which means support on campus and support off campus. This is also really important for K-12s and live away K-12s. Certified free from is what we came up with. It's our division called Kitchens with Confidence. And as I said, we do have this in a number of colleges, a couple dozen colleges and about a dozen products. 5 questions to ask before you're making the right choice. So the first question asked going onto a campus is, what are your emergency procedures? And have them spell that out for you when you go for a college visit, when you're hopping on a phone call, because maybe we can't college visit the way we used to be able to college visit. Maybe college visits are now being done by Zoom. I've heard just about everything. But asking a school what their emergency procedures are for food allergic students, they should have it documented. They should have it nailed. It should be simple. They should be able to answer the question, not be flustered. And they shouldn't be making you feel bad for asking the question. That's really, really important. The eye roll has got to go away for us, for all of us in this space. And asking simple questions and looking for concrete, real answers is the start for sure. Number 2, it is entirely logical that you would ask if they have had previous reactions, and if so, how many. A lot of times there are reactions to food allergens or cross contact on a campus that has caused them to be, or not caused, the result of that has had them be a better school and be able to handle it better. They have learned as they've gone. Their response to, again, this question will absolutely let you know if you're heading down a path where you're going to worry all the time, if you're heading down a path where you have a partner on this. If they've had any reactions on the campus, what corrective actions were taken? Did they have somebody like ourselves come in and audit them? Have they documented corrective actions? Have they put in standard operating procedures? Did they have us come in and certify an area for them so that the students are safe? Or did they certify a whole dining room so they can commissary from one whole dining facility to anywhere on a big campus? There's a lot of ways food service on a campus can do it right, even after they've done it wrong. Number 3, has your staff been aller-trained or other food allergy training? We came up with aller-trained. We were the first out. We were the first ANSI accredited. It was the first in the country back in 2011. There's now a total of 5 that are ANSI accredited. We're the only ones with master trainers where we go on site, we go teach live, and we're still teaching live in some cases, using all the safety protocol and all the measures. But have they been trained, either aller-trained or another training certificate? Can they show you the certificate? Can they describe whether they get trained every year, every 3 years, every 5 years? Just as an example, what I'm trying to do is tell you what happens in the food service side of things and give you behind the scenes. That's like going behind the curtains kind of thing. Certificates are good, like our aller-trained U, standing for Aller-Trained University certificate, is good for 5 years. However, really top-notch schools about food allergies do this training every year. They have a master trainer that knows how to give the training, and they give it every year, and they give it on new hires once they start. So what is their protocol for that? Number 4, have you trained or have folks in housing been trained? So has RAs been trained? Pardon me, grammatically, that was a hot mess. Friday afternoon, folks. It's okay to ask if their housing staff has been trained to handle food allergies. Do they know what the emergency protocol is? Do they understand that when students are having a food allergic reaction, they might appear intoxicated, when in truth, they could be having an allergic reaction simply because of what's happening in their body and have nothing to do with alcohol. So there's some really good pointers to that. We have something called Aller-Train RA. It's for resident advisors, and all of those nuances with the 18 to 22-year-old, 24-year-old age group are mentioned in there. Real quick story. I was at a college in North Carolina. I'll leave it nameless. I'll tell you, I was there training. I was teaching Aller-Train RA to a room of people. And I don't know if y'all can see me, so I'll do it, but I'll also describe it. When I was standing in the front of the room, I'm a pretty animated woman. And right now doing this on Zoom is wicked hard, but I'm in the front of the room and these people come in and they're all RA folks and they all sit around and they all got their phones out, you know. And I said, okay, we're going to do Aller-Train RA and talk about resident advisors, talk about housing. Let's talk about these amazing students that are coming your way and they're putting their lives in your hands. And they start to listen a little more, but they sat down originally with their arms crossed and leaning back. And I want to tell you that 20 minutes into that training, every person's phone was down. Every person was leaning forward. They were sharing stories about the different students they've helped along the way. It was truly, truly awesome to watch everybody in that room drink the Kool-Aid, that together we can make this a great experience no matter what the dietary need is, because hospitality is service and food's supposed to be love and not harm us, and we can do this. And that is the attitude that I want to see every college that my company interacts with come away with. I mean, I just do. So number 5, what areas or dining facility is safe for me always as a student? So a great example with this, we just did a recertification at Cornell. I was literally there 2 days ago, and they have an entire dining facility that's free from peanut, tree nut, and gluten. And from that facility, they commissary food all over the campus. It's our 5th year. They're about to start their 5th year of being certified free from. They were our first ones. Even with COVID, we're still doing it with them. So they're that committed, and they're that much of a high level school. So to watch a school be all in like that for the students gives me a comfort to know that students are in fact safe. Has the area been certified? Does the area co-pack and send to other parts of campus? So I don't want you to think that the only schools that your youngsters can go to, your young adults can go to, have been certified. But there are some schools that are doing stuff on their own that are not doing our program. But I would make them present what they're doing. I'll give you a good example. Sorry, Friday. There is a food service company out there called Sodexo, and I love Sodexo. We do tons of training with Sodexo, tons and tons and tons. And Sodexo has an area in their dining hall called Simple Servings. And in order to work there, you have to go through AllerTrain U to even work in Simple Servings. So we don't go certify each one of those Simple Servings. I would love it. We just don't do it. But what I will tell you is I know they've been AllerTrained. I know they know what they're doing. So tools for schools. We'll whip through this real quick. I think we're doing fine on time. Nobody's calling and yelling at me. Right on. I want to get your questions, so I am going to go through this quickly. Tools for schools, there's 5 different areas we'll look at. One has to do with purple items. There's a lot of purple in the back of these kitchens on college campuses and in other facilities. This purple color came out because it wasn't currently being used in the kitchen. And I got to tell you, it costs no more to get something purple than it does without purple. So the cutting boards that are purple cost the same as the red and the green and the yellow. It's just another measure and step to take care of those with food allergies. Talked about training, AllerTrain U and AllerTrain RA. Oh, I didn't tell you this. If you go to allertrain.com and you jump over to under clients, it says AllerTrained colleges and universities. And every one of those states that's not in purple, all the blue states have schools that have AllerTrained people on campus. You will also see if there's a master trainer on campus. If a school you're applying to has not been AllerTrained, they would not be listed there. That's pretty up to date too, I'll let you know. Communication tools for schools. I talked about Simple Servings. I forgot, I put a picture of them in there. Okay, great. Simple Servings, I love, love, love the program. It is free of the 7 of the big 8. The one allergen they do allow there is fin fish, and they're also gluten-free. And then places like the College of Holy Cross, they have a pantry that's fully stocked to meet their students' needs. And that is one of our KWC campuses. A lot of times schools use these type of tools to confirm that they are free from. KWC requires a school to do testing either weekly or monthly, depending upon what's in the facility, to make sure that everything truly is allergen free. And that's one of the benefits to certification is we can tell the schools you have to test and you have to send us reports monthly and pictures of these test kits and all that. And then finally, third-party validation. I think I've talked quite a bit about that. I'm not trying to sell you guys third-party validation. I'm just trying to explain what it is from that standpoint. And that is the seal that lets you know if it is free from the big 8 in an area or a dining facility. This is a certification you would look for. Talked about, started in 2017. Okay, kitchenswithconfidence.com. That's where you'll find our new standards. There's a tab right at the top. I'd love some of the parents that can hear me, please, 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 if you would do me this huge favor to go read those. I promise it'll make you sleep. I'm just kind of kidding. It's long, but I need your opinions. I need you to push on me. I need you to help me make it better. We did just get our first, well, we're getting our second California school, the first one that'll let us publicly tell you who they are. Sometimes the schools don't want us to tell you who they are because they say we're using their name in marketing. So for that reason, respect, but we're about to get a college in California that just signed on the dotted line, and we're figuring out who's close by to go do an audit there, or who can go in and out of California. With COVID, the reason I'm in New York today doing this from here is because I was doing recertifications Cornell and RIT, and a brand new product certification in the state of New York, which we'll be announcing soon. But that will tell you what colleges, same kind of map, just a little bit different website. Our websites are all interlinked in the top left. So I'm going to leave this up for about 2 seconds, and then I'm going to shut it down, and hopefully I'm going to kill the PowerPoint and go back to where I can see your questions. So if you would just take a picture of this would be great. I will also tell you, if you want questions about a specific school, info@menutrimfo, and we will answer that. We tried to put so much of our stuff public facing. All right, let me kill this, sorry. How do I stop sharing? There we go. Okay, let me pull up. Great. So fire when ready on the questions. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Can you require your child with celiac not be placed on campus and placed in an apartment where they can assure their food has not been cross-contaminated? Should it be placed on a 504? So, all right, so here's my first plug for FACT. I don't know if you're familiar with FACT. FACT is food allergy. Should have written it down. It's another nonprofit, and they have amazing tools on their website where you can take your 504 plan and flip it to use in a college setting. Here's the problem, Diana, when you know, with all due respect, I understand what you're asking and I understand why you're asking it. It really depends upon the school. Sometimes the schools will meet that accommodation request, and sometimes they'll push right back, especially with celiac disease versus a food allergy. Because celiac disease, as you know, and I know, is life-threatening over time and can be life-altering like insane. I get it. The colleges, it really depends upon the college and the university. So the other thing I will mention is that in the PDF, in the dropdown, I did put something that says retail request or retail CFF retail, and it's a request for you to print and take to your grocer if you're looking for products with certified free from and the seal. I'd be super happy if you want to print those off and take those or share those with people that, you know, a lot of people are making claims in different ways. Listservs, this one we think is good. This one answered our questionnaire, so we trust they're good. And there's a real difference between what they say they're doing and what I was walking around yesterday looking and making sure they're doing and make them prove they're doing every week or every month. Yeah, it's interesting how with celiac disease, we've been doing that for products and locations for years, but for food allergies, we're just now starting to flip that script and make that more mandatory. Does anybody have any questions for me? So yes, somebody asked, all the colleges are pretty well up to date on Allertrain. They are mostly up to date on Kitchens with Confidence. With COVID, we've been doing a lot of, we had 5 audits in 5 days this week. So we're trying to catch up now that we can finally start traveling just a little, but we're trying to stay much more regional and local. So go to those websites, call my company, ask your questions, info@menutrimfo. That email will find its way to me. Again, my name's Betsy Craig from Menutrimfo. I am doing another session tomorrow at noon with Red Plate Foods. We just certified Red Plate Foods. So exciting. Great stuff. And now I'm going to pause for 1 second and see if anybody else has questions. We had a couple that we've answered, but thank you for your kind words, folks. You're really awesome. Good deal. I will wait 1 more second. This is where you have me. If you want to know anything about what they're doing in the back of those kitchens, I am happy to share as much as I can. It's amazing to watch it change over the last, since 2011. Yes, somebody made a comment. It's changed a great deal. Since 2011, when I started doing stuff with food allergies um, in universities and colleges versus today, I mean, we've just seen the need go through the roof. And finally, folks in the food service side are really catching on, and they understand what a huge, huge impact it has. Mainly because it started affecting, their bottom lines. When y'all said, no, my child can't go to your college. We can't spend $42,000 a year because you won't feed my child correctly. That's really having an impact. Is the school liable if a child falls ill due to cross contamination? You know what? I have to tell you, I think people are liable for sneezing in the wrong direction, especially today. So the challenge is in a school environment, you have to prove that the school had malice and wasn't doing the right thing for your kiddo. And that's where it comes to how much do they do to try to help? How much do they do for due diligence ahead of time? It's pretty wild. I got brought into a case that I'm not allowed to say anything other than like super general. And I wouldn't, of course. We've been brought in on a couple of things. But a lot of times folks want their kids safe and wants their young adults to be able to do the school. And they'll ask the school to go ahead and bring us in and remake their system for them before they'll try to go through the legal stuff. The legal stuff usually enters in when they do wrong multiple times. Do schools have separate pans and something for celiacs? Yes, you can use, so we use purple for everything. We use purple for allergen and gluten-free. When we started Allertrain, it occurred to me that if we taught them how to keep people from getting cross contact with a peanut, the same protocol works for wheat. So that's, yes, purple is the answer. At first, there were a couple other nonprofits that were trying to make green be the color. Well, green is already used in a commercial kitchen. It's been used for years for produce. So it was never going to work, unfortunately. The people that came up with it just didn't know green was already being used. So we use that light purple for everything. And that way it covers wheat and gluten. So wheat and gluten. So cool. Thank you, folks, for the questions. Thank you so much. We're beginning to wonder if college would be possible. We have increased hope. You should have so much hope. Reach out. Just reach out. My name's Betsy. Reach out. I will totally help you. We will totally work with whatever colleges you want. I have seen places that have multiply injured and caused damage to the same person completely turn around. Attitude, action, mindset, it can happen. It can absolutely happen. It doesn't have to be that difficult. It's not that difficult, but it does take conscientious attention, So, and then somebody just asked about utensils. So that's probably a good one to end on because I think we're running out of questions. Yes. A lot of the good colleges that we're seeing now, I understand the ones that call us in really are doing it right. They have whole separate sections of separate utensils and separate sheet pans and separate, everything. And so, yes, allergy stickers, allergy aprons you only wear when you're doing allergy meals. Somebody just shared that, and I want to give a shout out to Iowa State. Was wonderful with your daughter's celiac and dairy allergy. She never got sick in 4 years and have a celiac club. Like, if that's not saying, first off, I know nothing about Iowa State, so super happy to give them a shout out. They, all they have to do is do the right stuff. But that takes us back to those 7 questions. What's your major schools? What's your allergy schools? What's their protocol? Do they know emergency procedures, housing? And do they have off-campus support? Like, that's the big stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. I do have a couple 15-minute slots if anybody wants to go one-on-one and ask specifics about a school or, hey, what do you think about this? I'm happy to do it. Or hit me up at info@menutrinfo.com. Just put in there you want this to go to Betsy. It will find its way to me. We're only a staff of 12. They'll find me. I thank you for your time and your attention. And I will go ahead and end this. Thank you, folks.